Hi, I'm Sam Hyper from Entertainment Weekly. I am here at Comic-Con with the cast of Cloak and Dagger. We are live on Facebook, so be sure to send in your questions. We'll start with my questions because last night's episode ended with like quite an image, quite a moment.
Oh yeah.
I want to start like how is this going to affect her moving forward? We got 2 episodes left.
Well, I think last night you started to see Bridget soften a bit. She's been pretty hard up until that point, and it definitely makes her want to go after Connors even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, was this your twist on the whole fridging of it all?
Yeah, I mean, it's our writers' room, especially a lot of the women in the room, were like, let's turn it on its head. Let's take this trope that we've seen in genre so much and reverse it. And it was great to have Lane Miller, who was our nice Officer Fuchs, and Emma kind of reversed the roles that you usually see in the typical cop show. And then we got to muss it up a little. That's what we do.
Yeah. Well, for heading into these final 2 episodes, for our heroes, I feel like this journey, my favorite thing about this show, and I've talked to Joe about it, is the pacing of this season. Like, it's been such a wonderful, like, really watching them deal with these powers. What does it mean? Going into these final 2 episodes, where are they at in this journey? Do you feel like they're ready to, like, fully embrace, like, a hero's status? Where are they?
I'm not sure if they're ready to embrace it yet, but they're definitely in the right direction. I feel like, I always say this, that Ty and Tandy are really starting to grow up. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, what comes next is just taking, full responsibility of what they feel that their plan is. So I feel like that plan is definitely going to be, someday to save the day. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot on their plate right now. Like, I don't even understand how they're coping with it. I mean, when reading these scripts, I was like, God, it was like one thing after the next, and I was like, I'm exhausted, Joe. But yeah, they're dealing with a lot, and they're teenagers, and they not only are they trying to learn how to cope with their everyday, real-life teenage struggles, but they're also learning how to cope with how to manifest a light dagger out of their hands or how to teleport. So it's pretty bananas.
Right. Life's not hard enough as a teen.
Right?
Just
a couple curveballs.
We have a Facebook question. Brendan Smith would like to know, what has been your favorite scene to film so far for everyone?
I know what mine is.
Go for it.
The swamp scene.
Yeah.
That we did.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful experience, and it was one of my first days on set, and just working with Liv was just a gorgeous experience. And we were in the water, in waders. We were just doing it.
We were in real New Orleans swamp water.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In like
that wasn't
100%
fake. That wasn't a
humidity.
set. That was legitimate. Like, a gator could have come out at any point.
Straight up. And we
But-
shot another water scene. We saw like 4 gators.
We weren't in the water at that
Not
point.
at that point.
Yeah.
But we saw
We
some.
had
we
a
were like,
gator wrangler on set, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We were very safe. We just wanted to be fun. But yeah, I really love that scene. It was a really beautiful scene between both Mina and Tandy. They both went through the same experience. Sort of, Tandy lost her father, and Mina, hasn't been with her father for 8 years. So I think, sort of coming from a vulnerable place, obviously not talking about their relationships with their dads, but it sort of stems from there, I feel like. Sure. And just sort of watching their relationship build is pretty spectacular and special.
Anybody else have a scene?
I can't tell you my favorite scene yet because it hasn't been on air.
Always love that.
Which means you have to keep watching.
Keep watching. Right.
Keep watching. I feel like we have some really cool scenes in the last episode, and they're really moving. Aubrey, it was funny because I couldn't cry. It didn't make sense for my character to cry, and he's so good. And in these scenes, I had to keep holding back tears, and then they would like turn into snot, and I had to be like, oh god. But there are some really. I was like, no, don't do that. But we had some really beautiful scenes together, and Aubrey kills it. They're really moving.
Likewise. I would probably say my favorite scene to shoot was all the stuff with the cloak in episode 8. Like, it just, it was the moment that everything felt real. And just being able to run around in, like, that big purple, like, beautiful cloak. I don't know, it just felt so good, so I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah.
Definitely
not. We actually have another fan question that I really like from Edward Sanchez that says, what's your favorite food from New Orleans, which is where the show is set?
Beignets.
Daisy Dukes.
Shut up! Shut up! No, I don't know why he says that. It's a good restaurant, but it's like there's so many other amazing places.
ones. That's so random.
I was obsessed with this like takeout diner place called Daisy Dukes. Shout out Daisy Dukes. And it got me sick like every single time, but I still ate it.
Yeah, he would come to work the next day.
You only live once.
He'd be like, I
Aubrey
don't feel
Joseph
good. I'm
is
like,
a-
Daisy Dukes. He was like, yeah.